Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sally Seitroff. I'm the Assistant Director of Educator Engagement with Work and Learn Indiana. Work and Learn Indiana is a program, a part of the Institute of Workforce Excellence, which is a subsidiary of the Indiana Chamber of Commerce. Today, I'll be talking to you about the high school earn expansion pilot grants. So thank you so much for watching. And as we go through this presentation today, I am happy to take any questions after the session. I will share my email address, but all the information can be found on workandlearnindiana.com. And I will show you where that information, specifically where you can submit the grant, as well as read the entire grant application. So let's get started. So the EARN program is been in tradition for college students, started in 2013 in partnership with the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. And EARN stands for Employment Aid Readiness Network. And again, this was created to support underrepresented Hoosier students, and it is an employer matching fund program. So employers, based on the internship that they submit to Work and Learn Indiana, based on certain criteria, they're reimbursed for the wages that the student earns of up to 50%. So for the traditional EARN program, an internship has to qualify and meet a specific criteria, and a student has to meet a specific criteria in order for those employers to receive the 50% of the hourly wages. So keeping in mind that the college traditional program started in 2013, there is two criteria both for the internship and the student in order for the employer to receive those reimbursements of that 50%. And again, this is in partnership with the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. And we are supporting, as part of the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, in collaboration with the Indiana Department of Education and the Indiana Commission for Higher Education, offering this EARN pilot program for the high schools. So in 2019, the Indiana General Assembly expanded EARN eligibility to include high schools, and that's what we will be talking about today. But I wanted to make sure to cover EARN in its traditional sense in the college setting, because some of the differences you will notice, and then there are some similarities to what the traditional EARN program has been in past. So the high school EARN program has three goals, and the goals are: one, graduation pathways to support Indiana high school and students, high schools and students in meeting the state's graduation pathway requirement, which is for the class of 2023, related to employability skills and work-based learning experiences. So you can see on this next slide, which many of you I'm sure are aware of the graduation pathway requirements, but that work-based learning piece falls in the graduation requirement number 2, and that is to learn and demonstrate employability skills. So we hope that, again, as part of the program goals, that the high school EARN pilot grant program will support students in achieving the work-based learning piece of the graduation pathway requirement. We'll flip back here to our goals. So another goal that we have for the high school EARN pilot program is student opportunity, and that is to increase equitable access to paid work-based learning opportunities linked to high school students' career aspirations and post-secondary training and plans. So we truly hope and hope this does support the continued career aspirations and goals of our students. And so we hope that they utilize this opportunity to explore career options, to figure out their interests, to understand really what they want to do, and then continue on to a post-secondary credential, whether that be a certificate or an associate's degree, or even a 4-year degree. We hope that this continues to invigorate students to learn, to grow, to understand their careers and interests and values and personalities and skill sets, and through that work-based learning experience, determine what those next goals after high school graduation might be. The employer engagement piece is another goal, to incentivize Indiana employers to proactively engage with students and schools earlier and more collaboratively to develop and retain Hoosier talent. So as part of the application, we're asking schools to work with employers and community partners in their area to submit letters of support. So the employers are asked to submit letters of support as part of the school's application. And again, this is to help incentivize and continue to build employer and school relations to help develop these experiences for the students to better, again, determine their career aspirations, goals, and to help retain and develop talent in the region, locally, and across the state. So in preparation for the planned statewide expansion, the Indiana Department of Education, Indiana Commission for Higher Education, and Indiana Chamber of Commerce are seeking applications from Indiana school communities for a $1 million pilot grant opportunity in partnership with area employers. The Earn Indiana Expansion Pilot Grants aim to build local capacity to connect high school students with high quality internships, pre-apprenticeships experiences beginning in summer 2022 and continuing through 2022-2023 academic semester. So we will talk about what that looks like in relation to cohorts. But again, the $1 million pilot grant is split over 5 to 10 schools. So we'll also talk about that. But keeping in mind, again, in partnership with the Indiana Department of Higher Education, the Indiana Commission for Higher Education, the Indiana Department of Education, and the Indiana Chamber of Commerce are seeking these applications from Indiana school communities. So moving on to the criteria for the application, we're looking at a grant scope with 5 to 10 pilot school districts. And that can be regional school districts, collaborations between school districts. It can be individual schools that are prepared to leverage the Earn Indiana program to strengthen and expand their paid internship and pre-apprenticeship and other related work-based learning programming. So again, very diverse school systems across the state. We're not just looking at central Indiana. Again, we're looking at regional school districts, individual schools that are able to continue to leverage this funding in support of employer relations to strengthen and expand some of their programs. So we're looking at a representative group of school communities reflecting both regional, geographical diversity, population density, rural, suburban, urban school communities to really inform the best practices that can support learners and localities. We're using this opportunity to also assess and determine how to best move forward with this program. And so we would like a diverse group of school systems to inform best practices and support the efforts that are happening. We're also looking in, again, in the tradition of the Earn application, student diversity, which includes cohorts of students participating from each school community that reflect gender, racial, and socioeconomic diversity, including students enrolled in the Indiana's 21st Century Scholars Program. So the grant pilot is open to all student populations, but the Earn wages is limited to the students from low-income families as defined by the federal free reduced price lunch. So again, a student and any student from the school can participate in a work-based learning opportunity and be supported by this program. However, the Earn funding will only be eligible to be reimbursed to the employer if a student qualifies, and that qualification is that the students from low-income families defined by the federal free reduced price lunch. And that is again limited to 2 cohorts. So I'll talk about what that looks like in regards to the timeline, but a student that is earning Earn funds will only be eligible to participate in 2 cohorts to receive those Earn funds. They can participate in all 3, but only can they receive and be reimbursed, the employer be reimbursed for 2 cohorts of the three cohorts that the student might be participating in. So as part of the implementation, the employer, again, will have exclusive access to earn Indiana funding to reimburse eligible employers of up to 50% of the hourly student wages, and that provides a high quality internship. So the employer will receive the 50% based on the criteria of the internship and based on the criteria of the student. The school funding, so a supplemental one-time implementation support fund of up to $25,000 will be eligible for the student or for the school to receive to support staff stipends, transportation, marketing and promotional materials, appropriate workwear. So we really hope that this up to $25,000 for a one-time implementation support will again go to supporting the student and removing barriers to their success, as well as garner interest from marketing materials or promotion materials. There is a part of the application, schools will be asked to submit a budget form, which includes how that up to $25,000 will be utilized. And this is separate from the wages that the employers will be receiving. The internship management support, so free access to an online intern management tool will be provided from Work and Learn Indiana. And this will support program management for easy onboarding, assigning and tracking projects. This is for the educators, this is for the employers, and for the students. So there'll be all three groups in one supported online management tool to provide that coordination, collaboration, and support to message and to help program participants really better communicate and collaborate. It will also provide performance tracking. So looking at data, graphs, visualizations to track participation, performance, completion. So we're really excited to be able to offer that as part of the pilot program. Going back to my first statement in regards to what the traditional EARN program has been, there's been the student criteria, which is part of the high school EARN program, is the free and reduced lunch. And then as the internship criteria, this is what we're getting into now. So the student experience must be a minimum of 75 working hours per term or per experience. And that again is in alignment with the graduation pathway requirements. And the employer and educator and student must come to an agreement upon learning outcomes for these experiences to provide a high quality learning opportunity that meets the student's career pathway. We're also looking at next level job industry. So we're looking at those that are in high demand, high wage, and go along with a lot of the work that's happening with the Office of Career and Technical Education and the next level programs of study. But we're looking at for the next level jobs of industry and priority being placed on internship alignment with advanced manufacturing, building and construction, IT and business services, health and life sciences, and transportation and logistics. So those again can be found on the full application, but those are again the next level jobs that are in high demand, high wage industries, and that will be the priority for the internship criteria. We're also working with the work-based learning standards, and this coming from the work-based learning manual and workbook. The internship experience should be aligned with the Indiana K through 12 work-based learning criteria. And there are 8 that we've picked out. And again, these 8 can be found on the full application as part of the website. But again, one of those is the work-based learning sites are in compliance with federal and state labor laws and local policies. So we hope that many of them are pretty common sense and easily transferable to this experience and what's happening with the high school EARN program. But again, I'm not going to go through all the criteria, but you can find those criteria on our website on the full application for this pilot program. So available funding, again, I want to make sure that this is clear that approximately $1 million in total grant funding is available during the pilot grant cycle, including the earned wage subsidy and supplemental school support grants. So Applicants are asked to submit budgets of up to $25,000 for that implementation support, and the total funding amounts for each school community will be set by the selection committee based on the intended number of students served and grant capacity. So reimbursements will take place after the program or initiative is complete. And again, there are 5 to 10 pilot schools, so not every school is receiving the $1 million. It's again intended based on the number of students that are served and the total number of grant capacity. So going through the timeline, November 15th is the letters of interest due, and we're asking those to be submitted to the email address on the site, which is mine. And we are looking for 3 things as part of the letters of interest. One of those being the school information. So if you're applying individually as a school, if you're working with a regional or school district, we'd like that contact information on the letter of interest. We'd also like to see how the region district school is using the funds or how they intend to use the funds to support the efforts of building those employer relations. And then also we're looking at how this fund will support the community and the growth of the community and the work that's happening there locally. So those 3 things will be asked. Again, a brief 1-page letter of interest is completely appropriate, and that will be for November 15th to the email address ssaydshoev@indianachamber.com. December 15th is when the grant applications are due, and those again can be submitted online on workandlearnindiana.com. January 10th will be when the grant award notification occurs. So awardees will be notified January 10th, and then spring will be the planning phase. So there'll be a time and an opportunity for individuals to work with schools, to work with individuals from the chamber and work and learn team to support the efforts that are happening to make the program hopefully run smoothly here in the summer. So we're going to start in the summer with cohort 1. And then in the fall of 2022, we're going to look at students for cohort 2. And then spring of 2023, look at student cohort number 3. And again, going back to what I had mentioned earlier in relation to the eligibility and criteria, students participating and can participate in all 3 cohorts. However, only earned funding will be eligible for students through 2 cohorts. So that would be either in cohort 2 or cohort 3 or cohort 1 or cohort 2, however that works out for the student participating in the experience, but only the student is eligible for two cohorts of funding for reimbursement for the employer experience. So that is a criteria that we have. June is when the final report and invoice will take place. So we're very transparent in regards to the application. We're looking at and looking for a clear description of the student population and anticipated number of students served. We're looking at the established partnerships in relationship with industry and employer partners. And again, this goes back to the next level job industry sectors, advanced manufacturing, building and construction, IT and business services, health and life sciences, and the transportation and logistics areas. So we're also looking at clear goals and anticipated impact of the program, the plan of evaluation for effectiveness and impact. So how will this program be assessed in your region and within your school district and schools, letters of commitments and support from area businesses. So going back to those established partnerships, we're looking for letters from area businesses and employers that are interested in partnering as part of this program. And then we're also looking for a demonstrated infrastructure and plan for the school staff to help coordinate, place, and track these student experiences. So again, the supplemental support can be provided a stipend, the up to $25,000, a stipend can be. The $25,000 is not to be used to fully fund a staff position, but in support of the work that's happening, a stipend can be a part of those funds. But we're also, again, remembering that we have an implementation tool that we're providing as part of this experience to help and support the staff at the schools to track and really onboard students, work with employers, message and communicate straight through the tool. So we're hoping that that can also be an added benefit to this piece. So where to find this information, workandlearnindiana.com is where applications can be found. The applications can be submitted, questions that have come up during sessions. That is part of this as well on the website. So any information that is related to the high school Earn Pilot Grant Program can be found on workandlearnindiana.com. And you'll see if you go to the site, this image about 3/4 of the way down. You can click Learn More and it will take you directly to the High School Earn Program Expansion Grant page. So if you do have questions, please let me know. This is my contact information and I'm happy to answer those at any time. So email me, call me, let me know how I can be of support. And I look forward to seeing your letters of interest and application.